Please enjoy my stories or whatever else might be on my mind today. Well, good morning, YouTube. Sun is shining and life is good in Mexico. So what's on my mind today? Well, last night, watching some YouTube videos, and I was watching a video that was a reply to a negative video about a guy who disrespects people that have a donate button on their channel. I just wanted to talk about that a little bit today, and I wanted to express my opinion. Apparently the guy who thought that was a terrible, terrible thing, having a donate button on your channel, thinks that it's quite okay to express an opinion because he did. I think that having a donate button on your channel is perfectly okay. If you're running around in your van or your $1 million motorhome and making videos and posting them on YouTube, or if you're a teenage girl talking about your shoes and your makeup and posting your videos on YouTube, or whatever it is, you want to put a donate button up there, put a donate button up there. I think that A, you have a right to do that. B, people have a right to watch or not watch. I don't think that it means if you have a donate button, or even if you ask people to donate, that you're a moocher, or you're trying to live off of society, or you're begging, or sure, there are those that might whine a little bit too much about their dire circumstances. And hey, if that gets to you, or you can't respect their place in the world, then move on, watch something else. Don't get yourself all in a tizzy. I'm pretty tolerant of people, and I try, none of us are perfect, but I try to have respect for everybody, no matter what their circumstances or, frankly, what their opinions. I don't respect people who use the right to have an opinion or the right to express an opinion when they use that right to try to make other people feel bad. That's just not my thing. Of course there are scammers and con artists and people who are dishonest when they're asking you to support them or give them money, but those people are easy to spot. I've been approached by scammers and beggars and moochers all over the world, and I can see them coming a mile away. Some of them, one guy in Oakland, he was so good at it, I knew he was just he presented himself as a homeless guy, and he wanted money and da-da-da-da-da, you know how it goes. He was so good at it that I actually gave him money just because I respected his craft. The craft of begging or mooching or giving me a hard luck story. I've been approached by those guys in the Safeway parking lot around Christmas time. Say, oh, I just need $10 for gas. I ran out of gas and I'm almost home to see my family. Well, I see those guys coming. I'll tell you a story about a guy that he wasn't exactly a scammer, but he was a very, very aggressive individual. And it was in Morocco, in Tangiers, at the Hotel Africa. And I was sitting there with some other tourists, and a guy kept coming into the lobby where we were just having a social hour and a drink, trying to sell us things. And he was very aggressive, and the management looked upon him as just another one of those street people in Morocco who are really, really aggressive about, trying to get a tourist's dollar. And they kept throwing him out of the lobby, and he'd come back in. And one of the things he was trying to sell were fairly inexpensive dresses for women. Throw him out. He came back in again, and I put my arm around him, and I've got a cheap watch on my wrist, probably a Timex, because you don't wear your Rolex when you're walking around in the old market in Tangiers. So I put my arm around him, and I've got my wristwatch right in his face, and I'm selling him that watch. It takes a licking and keeps on ticking. It's American made, da-da-da-da-da. I'm giving him the hard sale. I'm buying my watch. And he looked at me right in the eye, and he said, "Sir," in very good English, "Sir, I'm just trying to make a living, and you're making fun of me." And I got to tell you, it struck a chord. This is some years ago. I was younger and maybe not as tolerant as I am today. But it struck a chord. I walked out of the lobby with them and down the street about a block, and I bought a dress for each of the 10 women that were sitting there with us. And I did it because I felt bad, and because I felt that I was wrong to be making fun of him, and I was making fun of him. And I don't know if that's when I learned the lesson or not, but the lesson is that, hey, people got to make their way in the world, and if it's with a donate button on their YouTube channel, then donate, give them some respect, contribute to their efforts to entertain, because that's what the job is. You can make the same criticism about, people trying to mooch about any number of endeavors. Anyway, I think it's perfectly okay to have a donate button. Those guys, they do put out some effort, and the product is entertainment. I don't know how much effort it takes. I know a little bit about it because I'm doing it, but the guys that make really good videos or make them really often, they're putting in a little bit of work. And if they want to be rewarded for it, I think that's fine. It's one of the new ways in the world to make money, and it shouldn't be any more disrespected than being a lawyer or a doctor. They have their ways that they can garner disrespect also. And, there's a lot of lawyer jokes. Used car salesmen, anybody in the sales business is subject to being disrespected for their ways. Anyway, that's my take on those people on YouTube who disrespect others because they ask for a donation. I think it's wrong to use your right to say what you want to make other people feel bad. That's what's on my mind today.